authorized Moderna booster shots for people vaccinated at least 6 months ago, or high risk or over 65 years old.
I think it's critical that we prevent infection as much as we can.
A CDC committee will meet next week to set guidelines for the rollout. The FDA panel will also vote Friday on whether to authorize a second Johnson & Johnson dose for some high-risk Americans. And they'll hear a presentation of mixing booster shots from different manufacturers.
President Biden said today that 66 million Americans are still unvaccinated. He's hoping the numbers get better.
I'm calling on more businesses to step up. I'm calling on more parents to get their children vaccinated when they are eligible.
The 16-year-old convicted in the New York City stabbing death of Barnard College student Tessa Majors has been sentenced to the maximum 9 years to life in prison. In court, Luciano Lewis apologized and said he felt ashamed. Thousands of John Deere workers went on strike today, and the technicians who make movies threatened to walk off their jobs next week. The Biden administration was asked about its take on many Americans striking for things like better pay.
The White House says it won't wade into the disputes between John Deere and the UAW or Hollywood producers and film crews. But on behalf of an administration that considers itself the most pro-union in history, Press Secretary Jen Psaki did express solidarity with workers.
Our economy is shifting to a labor market where workers have more bargaining power. Ultimately, that's a good thing.
To move goods more swiftly across the country, the president this week urged shipping companies to boost their throughput. That could put added stress on those workers amid a shortage of truckers. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Former Trump aide Steve Bannon failed to provide documents to lawmakers about his alleged involvement in the January 6th Capitol riots. Now he could face criminal contempt charges. Former federal prosecutor Laurie Levinson.
Will the Justice Department do so? I think there frankly is a high likelihood. This is a legitimate congressional inquiry. Steve Bannon, in fact, has information relevant to it. And in terms of him trying to assert executive privilege, he wasn't even in the White House at the time of the events.
Coldplay goes green. The band's announced a low-carbon stadium tour. They'll plant a tree for every ticket sold, and special flooring means revelers have to move to keep the lights on. The Dow gained 535. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors are here with the right Windows PC and tech solutions so you can stop at nothing for your customers. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PC and tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The one is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
From the Herteen and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Herteen and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. The general manager of a new downtown Iowa City cookie restaurant faces charges that he grabbed an employee's penis on 2 separate occasions. In one case, speaking in what police described as a baby voice while doing so. According to arrest records, a new employee was called into the basement of Insomnia Cookies on East Washington Street just after 7:30 p.m. on September 13th for orientation. 25-year-old Insomnia Cookies general manager Grant Hill of Keota allegedly had the man watch videos on a laptop. While the alleged victim had the computer on his lap, Hill allegedly grabbed the man's penis in an unwanted advance. A second incident allegedly occurred just before 10:45 that same night, as the new employee was being trained by Hill in the kitchen. Hill allegedly pointed at the man's penis multiple times while saying "pee-pee" in what police describe as a toddler-type voice. Police say he then grabbed the man's penis without consent. Surveillance video corroborates the man's story. Police say the man later called Hill to confront him about the incident in a recorded call, and Hill apologized. Hill is charged with 2 counts of third-degree sexual abuse. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. Hill is already facing an indecent exposure charge after allegedly exposing himself to a 13-year-old boy while the boy was working out in the gym at the Quarters Apartments on Highway 6 East last June. Video footage from the complex corroborated the boy's account. University of Iowa Healthcare broke ground on a new campus at the corner of Forever Green Road and Highway 965 in North Liberty Thursday morning. The Forever Green Road campus is being built to accommodate up to 48 beds, 21 emergency care rooms, 16 operating rooms, and 2 more procedure rooms. State lawmakers who will be meeting next week in special session to vote on redistricting maps may also be considering a law to ban mask mandates. The Cedar Rapids Gazette reports that Governor Kim Reynolds is having discussions with legislative leaders about introducing a bill after her legal counsel advised she has the power to execute laws but not create them. She believes an executive order would not survive a legal challenge. Reynolds also reportedly is ready to take legal action once the Biden administration and OSHA released vaccination mandate rules for businesses. She calls the federal action overreach. The latest data released by the Iowa Department of Public Health shows 8,167 new cases of coronavirus, with nearly 600 currently hospitalized for treatment of COVID-19. In sports, Iowa's homecoming week concludes what head football coach Kirk Ferentz calls the first block of the season ahead of their bye week. The defensive line has been getting a lot of press this year, but on the offensive side of the ball, Solon native and center Tyler Linderbaum has been outstanding, not only at snapping the ball, but making difficult blocks afterwards. Ferentz talked about how he seems to make it look easy.
Some people can just do certain things, and he can do it. I mean, he's got that ability. Obviously, it takes some athleticism, and Tar's a really good athlete, as evidenced by the other ththings he's done besides football. And practice, too. I mean, practice is a big, big part of it. Just, you have to rep it, and it's because really nothing is quote-unquote natural. It's repetition, working at it, studying technique, all those things. But, he's just a pure football player head to toe, and it's important to him.
Iowa's homecoming game against Purdue can be seen Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on ABC. And a reminder, we've got high school football for you Friday night on KCJJ as Clear Creek Amana hosts Pella. An updated list of our games this season can be found at 1630kcjj.com by clicking on High School Sports. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
With a look at your forecast, I'm meteorologist Ashley O'Connor. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Low temps will drop to the upper 40s. Mainly cloudy tomorrow with a few sprinkles possible. High temps will reach the upper 50s. Lots of sunshine on Saturday with a high near 60 degrees. Sunshine will continue for the second half of the weekend. Warmer on Sunday, though, with high temps nearing 70. Mainly sunny Monday with a high near 72. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 64.
You're listening to Molly Suter on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
I was telling you that I usually post the link on my Facebook page before we start. And then 10 seconds before I started talking, I remembered that I didn't. So, nobody knows we're here on my Facebook page, which doesn't get a lot of traffic, so I don't think we're missing a lot.
I linked your page. Like, I tagged your page in my thing.
Right.
In KCJJ.
Okay, so you posted it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well,
so people know
the first that, hey, we're going on air, and then I don't know if I tagged you in the actual link, but
that is okay if you did not.
Am I really loud? Can I put this down? Is that better?
No. Here, keep talking.
Okay, it just seems really loud.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. I can turn you up over here.
Does that makes it louder?
Oh. I'm just trying to get the levels right to make it not so that you're so quiet,
Oh, I'm not usually quiet, but
I think, is this fine? Is it still too loud for you?
I'll get used to it.
Okay. Because the levels aren't too much or anything. Your levels are good.
Okay, well, if we get complaints that I'm too loud, then...
Yeah, you tell us.
Put on the...
Are we too loud?
The consumer.
I'll turn you down a little bit, but I don't want it to be like... You know?
See, you can hear that, like, me moving everything.
Yeah, you're right. You can turn it down a little bit.
Like on this side?
Yeah.
I'm going to pot it down.
You're going to pot it down.
Does that work?
I think
See,
so.
it sounds better to me.
Okay. Cool.
It just sounds really loud even in my
ears.
In my headphones.
Yeah, and see, I know how to control my headphone volume, but not yours. So, not
I mean, I
from
can
here.
I guess I could turn the volume down, but it just seemed like I felt like I was getting a lot of background noise from this side.
Interesting. Okay, well, if it's okay now.
It's perfect.
Okay, I think we're good.
All right. And now we conclude the portion of checking the mic.
Check the audio equipment, yeah.
Do like other radio people do that before they go live on air, or do they do?
I mean, you can, but I think it adds to the character of the show.
I don't remember Casey Kasem doing that before.
Who?
What? You don't know who Casey Kasem is?
No.
He did like America's Top 40 before What's-His-Face did it. He was the original. He did it for like a million years.
Who is What's-His-Face? Who are you talking about?
So the guy that was on American Idol, you know
Ryan Seacrest?
Ryan Seacrest does it now, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Like the countdown. Oh my God.
I don't know who Casey Kasem is, but...
Oh my gosh.
What?
All right, fine.
I don't listen to Ryan Seacrest.
You know what, like, America's Top 40 is, right? Like, where they do the radio, like, I don't know, it was like maybe Friday night, Saturday night, sometime during the week. It was like a regular, every week, they would count down the top 40.
I believe you.
And, like, he would talk about the song or the artist, and then, like, okay, and then America, this is number 39. And then they would play the song. Maybe it wasn't top 40, maybe it was top 10 or something.
I've heard of programs like that, but not the specific one you're referring to.
Do they not do anything like that these days, or?
I'm sure they do, but I don't listen to it.
Okay.
I know they do it for country. I'm sure they do it for pop and other genres.
I don't know who the country equivalent is.
I think the
Casey Kasem.
No, the country equivalent, I think, is... Oh, God, what's his name? Yeah, I forgot. Okay, our little fan here says, there's a really funny YouTube video of Casey Kasem losing it and swearing.
I mean, I'm sure that exists. I mean, he's human. I always thought it was weird because, like, I grew up thinking he was very American, which, I mean, I think he was born in America, but he was actually, like, I think Middle Eastern. Mm-hmm. And when you see his name, it's Kasim or E-M. And I'm like, I bet you he was Kasim.
Maybe.
Originally. And it's like, it wasn't until I was an adult I realized that how much he'd sort of suppressed his, natural heritage just to be.
Unfortunately, that's a story for a lot of people.
I mean, he was doing the radio.
Even today.
He was doing radio in, like, 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, 90s. He did it for a very long time.
Hey, you just named like 50 decades.
I mean,
decades.
He's been around.
50
I could be exaggerating, but he's around for a very long time. All throughout my childhood, I remember listening to his, countdown or whatever when I was a little girl even.
Well, again, I barely remember the 90s, so I don't think there was a chance I would have caught that guy.
I mean, you were probably doing more interesting things on a Friday night or whenever it was. I'm sure there's a particular night that they did it.
Friday nights in the 90s? I was a child.
You were watching... Were you watching...
Watching Pokemon.
Oh, I was watching Miami Vice.
I was not watching Miami Vice as a 5-year-old. Because I was 6 when the 90s ended. So.
God, I'm so old. And then Casey Kasem had like a whole big drama towards the end of his life too, where apparently the woman he married didn't get along with his kids.
Oof.
And allegedly like had him sort of squirreled away in some house like across the country, and the kids couldn't visit. There's like this whole major drama.
That's some wicked stepmother stuff.
I mean, her story is different from what the kids' story is. But,
oh, well.
And there might have been some degenerative brain stuff going on too with him. But anyway, allegedly, I don't know I don't really remember all the details.
Allegedly.
I just seen something on TV about it just a couple weeks ago.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Casey Kasem. I thought everybody knew who that was.
No. I probably don't know who a lot of people are. Because I'm not that old. Sometimes I feel like I'm really old, but I'm not.
Yeah. You're not. You're just a baby.
Yep. Well, a baby with a radio show.
Yes. A baby adult.
A baby adult. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description of me, I think. So, how has your week been, Cindy?
Good. Busy. Moose had his, I guess, year. I don't know how dogs do it every year, I guess. Their checkups or whatever.
Oh, yes.
So he had his rabies and his, I don't know, like 9 million shots. I haven't done shots since the kids were younger. Mm-hmm. So it took me right back to that doctor's room, holding my kids' hands when they're getting their little vaccines.
So
and
he needed more than one shot?
He needed rabies, and then I wanted to get him that. I kept calling it when the dog drinks dirty water. A shot. Bordadella or something like that, which is not a cheese, but it's, I don't know.
Salmonella?
No, it's some shot that if your dog like runs around and gets in lakes all the time or drinks water that's like
shady.
We don't go for a ton of walks at this moment, but
but dogs will drink out of anything.
But when we go on a walk, if there was a puddle of muddy water, he would drink it.
Ew.
And so somebody said that there's some shot that he can drink or that he can take. And then I don't know what else he got. And then he got something that they put on his nose, like in his nose, like I don't know what that was.
Cocaine?
No, because he did not enjoy it.
He didn't enjoy the cocaine?
I think Moose would like cocaine, but he did not enjoy whatever this was.
Right.
And then we had to have him tested for heartworm, and then, of course, he's been battling fleas. So we got the, what's it called? The chew that he takes once a month. Frontline. No, not Frontline. Not Frontline. Oh. We got Heart Guard for his heart worms that he doesn't have, but it keeps him from getting it. And then whatever the thing is called, it's like a little chew that he takes that'll keep the fleas away.
Right.
And of course, they still have to vacuum every day and until.
Well, that's probably just kind of a good thing for your house in general.
I don't really like vacuuming. I'm getting more and more salty that this dog is making me actually clean my house and change my sheets. And
I would rather vacuum all day than like do the dishes.
I have a dishwasher now.
I do too, but I just the process of loading them and unloading them, like I would just rather not.
I would just rather not do either.
I'm just saying, if I had the choice, I would rather vacuum. I don't know why.
Well, and for me, the dog does not like the vacuum. Like, I get the vacuum, like, I move the vacuum. It's always out, but when I move it to another room, he starts barking. Because he knows, I guess, what's happening next. And it's not that scary of a vacuum. I don't understand why he's so mad about it.
It's just a loud noise, and I guess they're sensitive to really loud noises.
He doesn't like the Swiffer either, which does not really make that much noise. Which I don't understand.
He just doesn't like that you're pushing something.
He's not used to me cleaning. He knows. He knows like, I get mad about cleaning.
He's like, "What are you doing, Mama?"
So this dog is making me a better person, and I'm really kind of
salty about it.
Yeah.
I was confused why you said shots, just because like when I take my cat to the vet, he only gets one shot. He gets his rabies shot, and then like the vet's like, "Your cat's fat," and I'm like, "I know." and then that's the appointment.
Well, and so Moose is just a year old, like a little over a year old. So I think he had some boosters that he had to get, and then they said yearly after this.
Okay.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for it, but my doggy daddy did. That's what I'm referring to.
Doggy daddy?
My ex-husband is. He's doggy daddy. That was the deal. Funny. I do all the heavy lifting and he pays for it.
Oh, that's ideal.
Yeah.
Mhm. I pay for my own cat's vet appointments, and he just lives in the house rent free. I think he needs to get a job.
Get him on. I mean, Pot Roast is probably paying for.
I love Pot
his
Roast.
Mama's.
Pot Roast is a girl.
Oh.
Pot Roast. I love Pot. If you don't know who we're talking about a TikTok account. It's this girl who's probably about my age, and she has this cat named Pot Roast with no teeth, and she doesn't like cleaning herself, and she gets like 2 dinners, and she's just really funny, and the cat's really cute.
The owner's really funny.
Yeah,
no matter what her prop is, I think she would do fun, because I always worry like what happened, because I don't know if you ever followed George the monkey.
I did.
I'm still heartbroken that he passed away.
I don't know how did he pass away. He just
know.
did.
Monkey crime. I don't know. I
know it was so sad. I think I started following them at the end of his life.
I know.
I wasn't too attached.
I was still attached because he was one of the first things I kind of got hooked on like when I was home for when we shut down for. Well, we never shut down, but we were able to stay home for 2 weeks, like on furlough or whatever you want to call it, for work. So, all I did was watch videos, and I found Facebook video. I wish I would have done TikTok back then, but I didn't. And so that was one of the first, things I kind of got hooked on. Mm-hmm. And then when I found him on TikTok, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then he passed away.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing about following, animal accounts. I've watched a few, I've followed a few, and then, the animals die, because animals die very easily. Mm-hmm. So, I follow this one duck account, and a duck passed away. It was very sad. And then...
Is it, the New Jersey guy that has, 3 or 4 ducks?
No, this is a woman who has, ducks named after Dunkin' Donuts. So there's one called Donut, and there's one called Dunkin', and one called Munchkin.
Okay.
The little, donut holes.
Very familiar with Dunkin'.
But it's cute. Her duck Munchkin loves the water at Dunkin', specifically at Dunkin'. I don't know what it is, but the duck knows the difference between Dunkin' water and regular tap water from their house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is weird.
That's weird. And then there's another one. This wasn't on TikTok, but I followed an Instagram account for a naked cat with no eyes, and he passed away, and it was very sad. No, it looked
like he didn't have eyeballs at all.
He had, something had happened where he had to have both of his eyes removed, and so the sockets were there.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
No, it was cool.
Did he wear little eye patches at
No,
least?
He didn't. It was just his sockets.
Did his owner, adhere googly eyes?
No. No, that would
I think I might watch that, but then I'd feel really bad about it, but then I'd still watch it.
No, but you probably have to clean the sockets in order for
There's a lot of blind animals out there. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Or are they just all on TikTok? And my neighbor, I met their dog across the street and kind of from across the street. And he's like, oh, this is my wife's dog. And oh, the dog's blind. I'm like, that's the 4th blind dog I've come across.
I used to know a blind dog. It was so sweet. It was ancient. It was 16 years old. And it was blind and deaf. And so, in order to, pet it, you had to, get down on the floor with it and, tap the floor around it so it could smell you and, feel that you're there. Because if you just went up and pet it, it would obviously startle it because it can't hear you or see you. And so, once you were down there, once it knew you were there, he wanted like pets and cuddles just like every other dog. But it was so sweet, and it died about like 6 months after I met it. I think it was very, very old, and it needed like daily shots in order to keep it alive. And I'm like, surely this dog can barely move. It doesn't see. It doesn't hear. Surely the quality of life is not good. Perhaps you should just put this dog down. But I understand.
If I were the owner, I don't know what I would do. But as a very, like my
outside
cat,
person,
I just chose to. We could have probably drug it out forever. But like,
okay, but at some point you're just like, is my cat in pain? Would it be better just to like softly end its life?
And that's an individual, and I'm not going to judge people for
Right.
extending it, and I'm definitely not going to judge you for being like, okay, yeah, we got to cut bait at this point.
Yeah, it's a hard decision, I know. This is actually the first time in my life that I have pets outside of, like, my family pets.
Mhm.
And so when it's time, knock on wood, when it comes time for this batch of cats that I have at my house to, like, get old and
Mhm.
stuff like that, I don't know what I would do.
I don't know.
I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I don't know how I'm going to
Well, and it's expensive too. Like I've heard people spending thousands and thousands of dollars on like
to put them down.
Chemotherapy.
Oh, chemo. Okay, I think you have
And-
to like put them down. I'm like, surely.
And
it's not.
God bless them. I mean, they're doing God's work, but man, it gets expensive.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, to me, that would be a factor too. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know that I would spend a lot of money to continue. I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know. I kind of like this, I guess, but.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, at this point in my life, I don't have enough money for cat chemotherapy.
I know, like you can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but also like, you don't want to kill your pet just.
But I would
because-
also want to make sure I had a vet that was going to be realistic about things and not say, "Look, we can do this, this, and this. Let's do
Right.
this." You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
the money grab or whatever.
Yeah, my mom told my vet, who is also her vet, that like he has to be really honest with her because she's not gonna come to the conclusion by herself. Like she needs him to say like they're not gonna get better. You should probably put them down.
And that's what the vet for my cat Sadie did. Like, basically, look, we can give. We tried one medication, it didn't work, and he's like, well, we could keep doing this, but. And I could do tests on it to see exactly what it is, but it seems to me like it's a tumor that's growing and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, let's just put him down. Put her down. But, yeah.
Sad.
It was tough, but anyway.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Well, let's stop talking about dead animals. Jeez. Let's start talking about...
Did you watch Squid Game yet?
There's
so many people. I asked my daughter, I'm like, have you watched? She's like, yeah. I don't know.
See, okay, last week, did I say that I started it and then couldn't?
Maybe, because that seems to be the case with people. Either watch it and they just cannot go to sleep until they're done, or they're like me. They watch it and everyone's like, oh, you gotta watch it, And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll try it again. I'll try it again.
Yeah, I got 20 minutes into the first episode and I'm like, I'm bored. Let's go to a different thing.
That's what I did.
And so that happens a lot, and I don't know, because I just feel like equal amounts of people being like, oh my god, it's the best show ever. I've seen it 3 times.
It's not the best show. It is not the best show
And then
ever.
equal parts people being like, actually, this sucks and is really brutal for no reason. Like, why am I watching this?
Well, that's why you watch
love
it. Because it's different.
Okay, but I don't like that. I don't like things being brutal and like awful just for being brutal and awful. Like, I don't like it.
Well, watch it in 6 months so that we can talk about it in detail, because I think there's a lot going on that needs to be talked about, but I can't really talk about it with people until everyone's seen it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's some shocking. It's very shocking, and it's different than... It's different.
There's something that happens, I know, because Amy came down the stairs sobbing because of, like...
Oh, yeah, I almost cried in one section, too. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was, like, really affected by it, and I'm like, damn. Do I want this for myself?
But there's also a lot of loopholes, I feel like. There's some parts of the plot where I'm like, how would that even... Like, I know it's I know it's fantasy. I know it's not a real thing. But, like, if you're going to base something in real life, you should have some real life things backing it up. Do you know what I'm saying? I know we've had this discussion before about.
We have.
Like, that's why I don't like romantic comedies, because I'm like, that never happens. That has never happened. Everyone I spill coffee on, I never see again. No matter how cute I look.
Listen, if it was a hot guy spilling coffee on me, I think I would be like, you can make it up to me, buy my coffee, or something like that.
I wouldn't. I would be like, oh, whoa, whoa.
No, realistically, I'd probably be like, what?
I was like, what the heck? I probably wouldn't even notice. I mean, I have so many stains on my clothes anyway.
Okay, but I do drive-through coffee, and so, like, this is not even a realistic thing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, who goes and gets coffee and walks around town with it? Nobody. But then that's always how they meet. They run into each other.
You know what I
spilling
think
coffee on each other.
I should do in order to get some kind of rom-com meet cute. Dress business casual. Carry a portfolio, maybe one of those really big poster boards, and a coffee in one hand, and just run across the Pinnacle, be like, oh my god, I'm late, and then find a hot guy, pretend to trip, and that's what I'll do, because that's what all of the scenes are.
Basically, yeah, and then they invite you back to your house, to their house, to change or something. Isn't that what happened in Notting Hill?
I haven't actually seen.
I can't remember. I
have not
because I
seen
think
Notting Hill.
He said, "Why? I've got a." My flat's right around the corner, I think. And then I think she went, which I'm like, now I'm like, that's how you get murdered.
No.
Unless I'm not remembering that right.
Okay, I haven't seen Notting Hill.
I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but.
I mean, no. All these rom-coms are the same.
They fall in love. I don't even remember how that ended. I just remember it was Julia Roberts and what's his face, British dude. Yeah.
Hugh Grant. I know Hugh Grant's in it. But I would not go back to a guy's
I know, because I'm
apartment.
like trying to remember, because I remember somebody just like posted that scene recently, maybe on TikTok or something, and I remember they ran into each other, and he like lived right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Probably.
Or maybe his store was around. Was he the store owner? Or was she?
I don't know. I believe you, though. I believe that either his store or his apartment was just around the corner.
Yeah, that's how you get murdered, is going back to the guy's house
honestly,
to change your...
Damn. Don't do that.
And that,
PSA.
quite frankly,
Don't do that.
would have been a better movie. I'm just saying.
What? Him murdering her?
Hugh Grant as a serial killer?
Honestly...
That would be amazing.
That would be a good movie. Make it happen, powers that be. Is Hugh Grant acting and stuff anymore, though?
He's got to be.
I haven't seen him in anything since, like, Bridget Jones's Baby.
No, he's done something since then.
Really? Has he? Are you sure?
I mean, I'm going to Google it right now
Google
because...
Yeah,
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
English actor.
Yes, he is.
TVs and movies. It better give me just a nice little rundown of it.
And we'll go to his IMDb and it will.
I'm not on his IMDb. Wow, he did a lot of things like in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, he did. That was like his wheelhouse. That was his heyday.
Is he still alive? Maybe we should check that.
I would have heard about if he died. He's not that old.
No, but like you haven't. I mean,
guess.
I'm thinking now that you've said it. I'm like, when was the last time that I saw him like alive?
Bridget Jones's Baby.
How that was like 15 years ago, wasn't it?
No, that's Diary. Baby was like 6 years ago.
Did you know his middle Hugh John Mungo Grant?
Mungo. That's okay.
I wonder if that's a family name.
Probably.
Okay. This is like when I like to have my laptop.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to find stuff, I think. Or it's easier to like... all films, and I want it in
the chat
order of... Okay, he's in a...
What?
There's a Dungeons and Dragons movie coming out.
Cindy just dropped her phone. For those of you,
and he's in it. I didn't even know that.
A Dungeons and Dragons. I have actually heard of that. I didn't know he was going to be in it though.
Oh, I know. I did see him in a movie just not recently, but like there's a movie where he was his accent was like kind of Cockney. Or Irish, something like that. And he wore a hat. And really the guy from, did you ever watch that motorcycle movie? Do you know that motorcycle TV show, Sons of Anarchy?
Oh, I thought you meant the Motorcycle Diaries for a second.
No, Sons of Anarchy.
No, I did not watch Sons of Anarchy.
The blonde hot dude that was like the main character. He's actually British in real life, and he was in this movie. And it was like a compilation, you know, like a bunch of British people killing somebody, and I can't remember the name of it, but that was just a...
I thought Sons of Anarchy, for some reason, it takes up the same space in my brain as, like, Duck Dynasty.
No.
Oh.
Completely different. Oh. The Gentleman. That was 2019. I've seen that.
Okay. No, I didn't.
But,
I didn't
yeah, he's doing
that.
Death to 2020, a TV special.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
Operation Fortune is coming out in 2022. Dungeons and Dragons is coming out in 2023. So, yeah, he's, like, slowly... doing not a lot. He's in Paddington 2.
I heard that was good. I heard Paddington 2 was even better than Paddington 1, and I have not seen either.
Well, I won't either. I don't have to watch kids' movies anymore.
Listen, I kind of like watching kids' movies, just because adult movies are kind of like... They tend to be, like, brutal and awful for no reason, and sometimes I just want a lighthearted something to watch.
Okay, so speaking of that, do you get Apple TV at all?
No.
Okay, well, it's worth $5 for a month to watch Ted Lasso.
You know, you're not the first person
It's such a sweet... Oh, my God, it's so sweet and
Cindy,
so funny.
I'm
and
gonna be
so... Oh, my God.
I'm going to be so mad if I pay $5.
It's $5. I will give you $5 if you don't like it.
and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
The premise is just, and now I'm not a big sports fan, but I love watching movies and TV shows that are kind of centered around sports because it's kind of this whole team thing, and it's just kind of neat to watch. And he plays a football coach who was hired to coach European football, which is soccer.
Yes.
Or vice versa.
Yes.
So he knows nothing about soccer,
right.
Except for he's a coach. So, you know, coaches can coach anything, right? Sort of. And it's the whole difference between, you know, American and English. And it's just, it's a really wonderful show, I think.
Okay.
It's got some really great moments in it.
All right. Maybe.
And it's super easy to just kind of, you don't need a lot of brain function to watch it.
Okay, well, that's
sense.
good. That's almost a prerequisite.
It's a nice little, like, cleanser, I think, of a TV show.
Because sometimes I just want to put something on and just be like...
Not have to pay attention, yeah.
Not have to try hard at anything.
Right, and this is amazing.
Another thing, for Squid Game, like, I either have to do it... I either have to put the dubs on, which I like, but I found kind of distracting since they didn't match up with the captions, which I also had on, or I just have to do the original Korean, right, and then English subtitles. And I think maybe that's probably what I'm going to do the next attempt that I make, either just the dub or just the subs, because having both of them and having them not line up was distracting, and that might have been why I wasn't engaged. But...
I mean, I have closed caption on all the time anyway, just...
Well, yeah, me too.
Because I'm not quite sure how to turn it off at this point, but it comes in handy.
For me, it's just kind of nice to have in case I miss something, or... Like, I'm not sure what a person said because sometimes people mumble. But yeah.
Another thing I noticed that I was talking about Squid Game to some coworkers who had seen it. And we were like, yeah, you know, the guy with the neck tattoo, the guy with this. And I'm like, you know what? It'd be very helpful if I could remember the Korean names.
Yeah.
Like, that's how American I am, that I those names don't, I mean, it's easy to remember Jenny and
right,
George and, you know, those names.
Yeah,
but, like, these are Korean names and I don't even know how to, like, pronounce them. So that's one thing that was kind of shocking to me, too, the whole culture of it. Which is good. I need to be reminded that the world exists outside of America.
Right. And like, as we've seen for Squid Game and Parasite, you know, that movie that won all those Oscars a few years ago, that was also Korean. Like, the media can be really good from places that's not in the English speaking world. And I do like that Americans, or just the English speaking world, is becoming more aware of that. And so I can watch like things from different countries, and it's still really good.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna, because I sort of enjoyed Squid Game. I'm not saying it's the best, but it was good. It was different. I am going to start trying to watch some of the other shows that I've been kind of angry about. Like, you see the clips of it on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I like turn it on. I'm like, it's dubbed American. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different country. And I'm like,
right.
You should have told me that ahead of time, because I would not have been invested for 5 seconds.
And like, why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. But like, I think I have sort of gone over that hump, and I'm going to try some, because there's some good TV shows, it looks like, on Netflix that might be worth the time if I can just get over myself and watch.
There's a holiday one. It's in Norwegian originally, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called anymore.
Is it a cheesy romantic comedy one?
It's romantic, but it's not cheesy.
God,
no, Cindy, it's not cheesy. I think you would like the protagonist, because she's not like dopey.
How does she meet the boyfriend?
Well, they're
he's a rich doctor, and she doesn't realize it.
No.
And what?
No, this is more based in reality.
Okay. It's not like the one that you're trying to talk me into watching, where
Crash Landing on You. No, although I do recommend that one.
I am not watching that.
Why not? It's good. No, I understand.
It literally sounds like the dumbest thing ever.
No, it's good. Anyway, no, this is the one I'm talking about. Oh, what's it called? I'm gonna look it up. Be like, Norwegian.
Is it on Netflix, or is it?
Yes. Okay. Christmas show. What's it called? Home for Christmas. It's called Home for Christmas. And it's on Netflix. There are 2 seasons. There are 12 episodes. And it's good. I recommend it this holiday season. Watch it. It's good.
But is there going to be another, what's the one, not the Royal Christmas?
Oh, wait, you mean the Christmas Prince?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. The one, it's the actress from iZombie, which is the only reason why I watched the first one.
Yes,
of course, I had to watch
Prince.
The second one. I don't think I've seen the third one where she has a baby.
Don't. It's
bad.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad.
I mean, the first 2 weren't great, but they were cute.
The first 2 weren't great. They were cute, but the third one is just kind of... You know how the first 2 are very, saccharine, sugar sweet, kind of hallmarky. This is just that times a billion. Even it was too much for me. So, and I love cheese. I love sugared sweet Hallmark movies. It was too much for me. But yeah, Netflix has really been cranking them out the last few years, though. So I wonder what we're gonna get this year.
I mean, I keep thinking because it's the most expensive streaming thing I have.
Netflix? Yeah.
Well,
it's
that
like,
and,
like,
HBO Max is kind of, they're
like,
about the same price.
It's like $13, isn't it?
I think I pay $14 or $15 a month.
Wow.
And then HBO Max, I think, is like $15, which to me, that's worth it because there's a lot more movies and new stuff and, like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got all of the Big Bang Theory on that, too, which is not anywhere else. But Netflix, I keep thinking I'm going to quit it, and then they come out with something different. So,
Netflix is consistently putting out really quality stuff, or like getting on really quality stuff, and so I feel like, I mean, I'm still on my parents' one, so, but if they ever kick me off, I would get.
Well, yeah, and the kids are on my Netflix, of course, and I they're just like, that's the only thing that they watch half the time. Which,
Right.
if I just opened myself up to the stuff I wouldn't watch before.
Right.
Not romantic comedy, but the foreign stuff.
What about a foreign romantic comedy?
Yeah, still no.
which is what Crash Landing on You is essentially. It's so good, Cindy.
For those listening that does not remember, she crashes a plane on a island that only has one rich guy on it.
No, that's not it. No, okay, so for those of you who don't remember me talking about this like 2 months ago, the premise is silly. I will admit that. It's there's this business tycoon heiress who goes what's that called? Sky gliding?
Oh,
no, parasailing.
Yeah,
parasailing. She goes parasailing in Seoul, or just like a little bit north of Seoul, South Korea, and she is up in the air, and she's like, "Oh, it's so pretty. Whatever, my problems are going away." Blah, blah. And then a tornado comes and blows her away into the North Korean demilitarization zone. And so she gets stuck in a tree, and then this army captain finds her, and the first half of the show is about like her trying to get back into South Korea safely, and he helps her because he is a high-ranking army officer, and so he has ways to get her safely across. But it's still a harrowing thing because getting out of North Korea is near impossible.
You know, but why is she paragliding so close? I mean, I know a tornado is very powerful, but really? Like miles and miles and miles that can take you?
I guess.
Without killing you?
I guess.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I know.
So, like,
listen, I know the premise is silly, but the rest of the show is good.
If you want me to believe the crap, it has to have some basis of this could actually happen.
No. I doubt this could actually happen. No. But the guy is hot. You like hot guys.
I do like hot guys.
I'm just saying. He's in it a lot. He's one of the main characters. I showed you a picture of him like 2 months ago, and you were like, yeah, he is hot. So, I am recommending to everybody here, 'cause it's on Netflix, Crash Landing on You. It's good, I swear, it's good, and it's funny, and like the supporting characters are good as well. It's just really good. So if you're going to watch like a K-drama, which is what it is, watch that one. I haven't watched any other ones.
I wonder if this...
Yes, I have.
Same...
But not, like, complete.
But Korea, right?
Yeah.
And Squid Game is Korean.
Yep.
I wonder if some of the same actors are in it. Do you think?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
Not that I've, like... Because I've seen some things about it on the internet. I don't think I've seen those actors.
Not that there's only, like, 10 actors in Korea.
No, but, you know, it's...
Popular actors tend to be in everything.
Right. But there is... an actress that's in both Crash Landing and Parasite. I think you should watch Parasite. It was good. I think it's on Hulu, if you have Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
I do now. Actually, Allie got it. I quit it, and then she's like, I'm getting it back. I'm like, okay, fine. So that's what I've been watching.
Okay, well, it's on that. I recommend that. Because it is pretty good. And it did deserve the Oscar that it got. Did it get... like the big one?
I have no idea, because every time I see the Oscar list, it's like, okay, here's a list of movies I've never seen.
Right. No, me too. It's all, because Oscar movies tend to be really, really serious, and
boring.
I've said, right, I've said this before, but I watch movies to be entertained and to, like, be transported into a world that isn't my own, but, like, a happy world, because this world sucks. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to watch some 3-hour depressing thing.
No.
That's going to teach me a lesson. I'm like, no, I don't want to, no. I'm watching a movie. It's got to be entertaining, which is why I like moronic rom-coms like that.
I know, but I still like...
I know. The same reason I like it is the reason you dislike it, which is fine, because that's how preferences work. But...
See, that's why I like true crime shows.
See,
because I know how everything ends. See, the husband did it. The wife did it.
Right. See, I like true crime as well, but, like, not all the time. Because it's depressing.
I don't watch it all the time. I watch Ted Lasso, too. And Squid Game.
Schitt's Creek.
I haven't watched that for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen...
I was watching it, like, all the time, and then I kind of got not sick of it. I just kind of hit the wall with it.
I go through shows, like, I just put them on and while I'm scrolling through my phone or, like, painting my nails or something, sort of background. And that was mine for a while, but now I'm making my way through Kim's Convenience. And
I love that show.
Right? I tried to get Amy to watch it with me because she likes Korean shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is Canadian, but Korean-Canadian.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just couldn't get into it. I'm like, that's fine, but I like it.
It's an easy show to watch, I think.
Right.
It's cute.
It is.
I really like the dad. He's just so funny.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I really like Simu Liu as Jung.
Yeah, and see, I can't do the names.
Simu Liu, I think his...
Does that make me racist if I can't figure out how to say the names?
I
can't remember the names.
I don't think that makes... I mean...
I'm just very American, we'll just say that.
It's very American, it's very set in your ways. I'm not sure if that makes you racist.
I'm an old American that cannot...
I think, okay, so what I think would make it racist is if you didn't try, as if you didn't even try.
If I didn't notice that that's what was happening. Like, I know that's happening, and it bothers me, so...
Okay.
Maybe there's hope for me.
Maybe. I don't know, but anyway, I think that's how you pronounce his name. It might just be Liu, but I think it's Simu Liu. I think it's Liu. But I'm not sure. So but yeah, I haven't seen, I was almost going to say I like that actor, but I've never seen him in anything else. I know he's in Shang-Chi.
He's the brother, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I have to see that. Shang-Chi. I gotta see that. I gotta see it. I wonder if it's still in the theaters.
I don't know. It's probably going to be on Disney Plus sooner.
I know, but it'd be
later,
better
right?
in the theater. I like those action films better in the theater.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But yeah, I'll see it eventually. Yeah. So I'm watching Kim's Convenience right now. I'll watch Squid Game probably when I'm in more of a serious mood. I'm just not. If I'm watching TV, it's gonna be like, ha ha ha.
See, the only
turn
reason
your brain
why
off.
I want people to watch it is so that I can talk. Ask them what their opinions is. I mean, I didn't love it, but
I mean, have either of your daughters seen it?
Well, Katie, that's not really her jam. Mm-hmm. But Allie started, the oldest one started, and she had the reaction of like, I tried watching it. I'll try again later.
Okay.
And that's basically, it took me, I mean, I had like 2 or 3 coworkers be like, oh yeah, I was up until 3 a.m. watching it. I'm like,
no. I've never done that with a show. Like,
I've done that with shows, but
if I'm really into a show, like, I just don't stay up that late. Like, I fall asleep before 12 most days. Mm-hmm. So even if I'm really into something, I'll be like, okay, I have to go to sleep now. And so I will.
What if you miss it?
It'll be there in the morning, Cindy.
I have actually fallen asleep watching shows and had to like back up and be like...
It's not like Netflix is going to go away.
And that's why it shuts down after 3 episodes. Are you still awake?
Right.
Are you still there? Are you still awake?
I always feel really victimized and targeted when they're like, are you still watching this? And I'm like, yes, I'm just not leaving my couch. Netflix, stop judging me.
I had it at one point. Well, at one point in my old house, at one point, I don't know if it was broken or what, but it would play the whole night on my TV in my room, which is awesome. And then I know at one point I like had to watch on my laptop for some reason, and it played all night on my laptop. It didn't stop, which is awesome because that's how I sleep, is with TV on. So if it goes off, that wakes me up so that I have to hit it, play it again.
I can fall asleep with like a TV show on, but I don't think I could have it like just on.
Yeah, it has to be playing the whole time.
Wow, interesting. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to have to have music on when I fell asleep, and I think my parents would probably come in and turn it off once I fell asleep, because sometimes I would wake up and like it wasn't playing in the morning.
Yeah, see, and if somebody comes in and turns off the TV, I'd be like, what? I'm awake.
I guess back then I was a kid, and so you're not so set in your sleeping habits. Like,
and ironically, both my kids like quiet when they're sleeping, which is
normal.
I know I have really bad sleep hygiene, but I don't really care. It's the way I am, and I'm not going to change.
So I guess Moose doesn't care.
I think Moose likes the TV on, and he likes cold case files and forensic files and Dateline.
I can't believe
he very much enjoys
Dateline.
that.
Like, while you're trying to sleep, that's given me nightmares in the past. Like, I can't watch.
That's what the kids say. They're like, I can't believe you watch that at night. I'm like,
I can't even watch like SVU before I go to bed, because
I know, but
then
like
I'll get
the people they
dreams.
get to narrate or to like host or whatever,
soothing voices.
They're
I know.
very nice voices.
We've had this discussion before, and I know it's because of the voice, but
and also like I know what's going to happen. Like I don't watch. I mean, I'm not crazy. I don't watch unsolved mysteries. That's crazy. Because they're unsolved. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what the ending is.
Right outside your house.
Yeah, it could be. He's inside the house.
Oh.
But you don't know because it's unsolved.
Oh my gosh.
Solved mysteries only.
I feel like I would still be scared.
Yeah.
My sleep is very easily influenced by like either the media I consume right before, or like who I'm talking to right before. Like sometimes I'll be talking to a friend before I go to sleep, and I'll dream about them doing some crazy stuff, I
used to dream about Facebook people because I'd be on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
And I like dream about Facebook friends, and it's like, whoa, that's weird.
No, like when I came back from Boston, I had several dreams like for nights afterwards about my friends, and so I would like tell them about it. I'd be like, I had a dream that you worked at McDonald's or something, just random.
You worked at McDonald's,
stuff.
but you weren't at McDonald's. That kind of dream.
Yes.
I have those dreams all the time.
Yeah,
I was at my house, but it wasn't my house.
You worked at McDonald's, but it wasn't McDonald's. It was hell or something.
It was hell. McDonald's in hell.
Yeah.
Where the frosty machine was, not frosty, where the shake machine was always broken.
Oh, yeah, no, the ice cream machine is always broken at the McDonald's in hell, but it's also always broken
at the real McDonald's.
At the real McDonald's here on Earth. So maybe this is hell.
I don't know that I've ever run into that problem, but
see, I have, and I think more often than not, it's just that they don't want to do it, and so they tell you that it's broken.
I mean, we've all run into that, I'm sure, with people like retail or like places.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want to do whatever.
You just don't want to do it, so like it's broken. No, I saw this thing on Twitter. It was like me at a McDonald's interview. What would you tell the customer if they wanted a McFlurry? Be like, ice cream's broken. You're hired. Machine's broken.
Yeah. Should we do?
Oh,
weather and news.
Yes, perhaps we should. I'm gonna try to
think about something else to talk for the next hour.
I mean, we can talk about just nonsense like we have for the last hour. All right, so we are going to do some news and weather, and we will be back. You're listening to the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. One of this century's most notorious murder cases is now in the books. The convicted killer learning his fate in a Los Angeles courtroom.
Life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Robert Durst will spend the rest of his life in prison for shooting Susan Berman in the back of her head at her home in December 2000. Prosecutors say he did it just hours before she was supposed to speak with police about the disappearance of his first wife in New York in 1982, an investigation that had been reopened. Her daughter Grace addressed the court.
I would like Bobby to live many, many years.
Durst's lawyer says they'll appeal. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Last year, then President-elect Biden promised a close look at whether the Supreme Court should be expanded. CBS's Bo Erickson says a special commission has just announced its preliminary findings.
The commission will not be formally recommending Supreme Court reforms to President Biden, but the commissioner said in the report that the calls to expand the current 9-member Supreme Court would likely undermine rather than enhance the Supreme Court's legitimacy and its role in the constitutional system.
Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe has settled his case against the Justice Department. McCabe came under fire from President Trump during the Russia investigation. Attorney General Jeff Sessions fired him with just hours left before his retirement. His attorneys say McCabe will get his pension and a clean record concerning that firing. Moderna is one step closer to joining the booster club. CBS's Alexander Tin.
A panel of the Food and Drug Administration's outside vaccine advisors voted unanimously to support authorizing booster shots of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for many American adults, including seniors and those at high risk. This is just the first step in the process to roll out Moderna's third shots. The FDA must still finalize its own authorization, followed by recommendations for use from the CDC and its panel of advisors next week.
The State Department is defending the way it's handled unexplained health problems that have hit about 200 diplomats, officials, and family members overseas. The so-called Havana syndrome was first reported by CBS News. The State Department's Ned Price.
There is no higher priority to the Secretary. There is no higher priority for our Deputy Secretary, Brian McCune, when it comes to these health incidents, because we know this is precisely about the health, the safety, and security of our workforce.
The symptoms include migraines, nausea, memory lapses, and dizziness. A big day on Wall Street. The Dow closed up 535 points. It's now just shy of 35,000. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors are here with the right Windows PC and tech solutions so you can stop at nothing for your customers. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Well, I started my own restaurant because I love to cook. But that also means a lot of greasy pots and pans. And we can't waste time with endless sink changeovers. So we upgraded to Dawn Professional Pot and Pan.
Dawn Professional cleans 58% more pots and pans per sink than the leading competitor.
Less dish soap, fewer changeovers, and more time doing what we love.
Dawn Professional. It's clean. Upgraded. From P&G Professional.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home.
Also possible because Staples Connect has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. And now Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/16, limit 2 while supplies last.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. The Iowa Attorney General's Office has signed an agreement with University of Iowa Healthcare to develop a comprehensive statewide opioid treatment program using $3.8 million in settlement funds. The program will take a multifaceted approach to making treatment for opioid use disorder available to Iowans. UI addiction specialists will conduct extensive outreach, training physicians and other healthcare providers across the state on how to treat opioid addiction using medication for addiction treatment, in addition to providing consultation and treatment for complex addiction cases. The $3.8 million comes from Attorney General Tom Miller's settlement with McKinsey & Company, one of the world's largest consulting firms. Iowa's lawsuit alleged that McKinsey contributed to the opioid crisis by promoting marketing schemes and consulting services to opioid manufacturers, including OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma, for over a decade. This is the first multi-state opioid settlement to result in substantial payment to the states to address the epidemic. Stopping his vehicle in the middle of Interstate 380 has led to the second OWI charge for a Winthrop man. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office received a call just before 11 p.m. Wednesday about a reckless driver who'd allegedly stopped in the middle of I-380 near North Liberty and struck a barrier. The driver, identified as 26-year-old Tyler Miller, was located just north of the Melrose Avenue exit on Highway 218. Miller reportedly showed several signs of impairment on field sobriety testing and provided a data master test indicating a blood alcohol level of 0.165%. Miller was taken into custody and charged with second offense OWI, an aggravated misdemeanor punishable by a jail term of up to 2 years if convicted. The city of Coralville will host a public meeting to share a concept plan that would allow the city to create a stream mitigation bank along the Clear Creek corridor within the city limits. A presentation will be held during the regularly scheduled meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission Monday night at 7 at Coralville City Hall on 7th Street. It will provide an opportunity to learn more about the project and how to submit public comments. Face masks are required to be worn inside City Hall. The goal of the project is to improve water quality and habitat within and along Clear Creek in Coralville. For more information about Monday night's meeting, go to coralville.org. In sports, Iowa's homecoming week concludes what head football coach Kirk Ferentz calls the first block of the season ahead of their bye week. With the team halfway through the season and still unbeaten, Ferentz talked about being compared to the 2015 team.
That team ran the whole race, and that, first team since whatever it was, 21 or 22, 100 years ago. It shows you how hard that is to do that, and we're just at the halfway mark. I have no idea how many Kentucky Derby winners, won that were leading at the halftime, or the first, however many. They go one lap, right? It's a big-ass track. But anyway, you follow what I'm saying. So I don't know what the stats are on that, but there's no prizes right now. We are bowl eligible. We're happy about that, but we don't get any prizes for being, having 6 wins right now. And that's really what, just like I said, the season's long, games are long. It's what, what you do the whole time, and we still got a lot in front of us.
Saturday's homecoming game against Purdue can be seen at 2:30 p.m. on ABC. And we've got high school football for you Friday night on KCJJ as Clear Creek Amana hosts Pella. Our updated list of games this season can be found at 1630kcjj.com by clicking on high school sports. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
With a look at your forecast, I'm meteorologist Ashley O'Connor. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Low temps will drop to the upper 40s. Mainly cloudy tomorrow with a few sprinkles possible. High temps will reach the upper 50s. Lots of sunshine on Saturday with a high near 60 degrees. Sunshine will continue for the second half of the weekend. Warmer on Sunday, though, with high temps nearing 70. Mainly sunny Monday with a high near 72. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 64.
Oh, it's actually 54. It's pretty chilly outside.
Yeah, but I like it.
I do. I do too. I'm just saying.
I haven't.
It was wrong.
I haven't hit the heat yet, wrong. But we'll see.
Yeah, I always like spring and fall because my my heat bills are like nothing because I don't turn it on.
I don't ever really notice the difference because I'm on that budget billing, but I do try to lessen.
I don't turn it on until it like hits the 40s.
Although I think I had my air on for probably too long, just because I'm like, oh, I guess it's getting chilly out.
I guess it's
turn
cold
that
in
off.
here. Yeah.
Well, we're still getting an occasional 80-degree weather.
Right. Okay. Well, actually, let's look at this forecast. So, overnight rain. Oh, low 48s. Ooh, dipping into the 40s. Maybe I should turn on my heat. Anyway, okay, so tomorrow, high near 60, slight chance of rain, low around 40. Saturday, sunny, high 60, low 40. Sunday, high in the upper 60s, low in the mid 40s. And then Monday, back in the low 70s, sunny, low around 50. Tuesday, sunny, high around 70. And then on Wednesday, sunny, high in the mid 60s. So we'll get into the low 70s. That's still nice.
It's kind of...
I mean, it's not hot, but like...
But if your house is all, windows aren't open, it'll get kind of stuffy.
Right, it'll be a little stuffy. No, but that's a good day to have, your windows open.
Yeah, I think I get some pretty good This is the first house I've had. No, I mean, it's a single wide trailer, so there's like lots of good airflow.
Yeah.
I've had the last house I had, it was just an old house and like half the windows didn't open. So it was like you couldn't really get a flow going through the house. So once you turn that air on, the house was shut up for the entire summer into fall.
I think the lower level of my house is pretty good airflow if you have like the windows open. Yeah.
We'll put that to the test this week.
I guess, yeah. Guess we will.
The dog loves it.
Oh, it does.
The second I opened the window the other night, he was like out, like, because he could smell everything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming that's what he's doing.
My cats love when I open the window in my bedroom. They will, because the sill is deep enough to where they can lie down.
Oh.
And so they'll just chill in front of the open window. They'll see like the little squirrelies go by. They'll smell stuff. They'll see the birds on the tree outside. They love it. They love it.
Yeah, my Moose will just get right by my bed is like each window is on each side of it, sort of behind the bed, and he just kind of pokes his nose out there, pushes me out of my spot. He likes to smell.
Animals do.
Yes.
They love the smells. They love all the smells. So I noticed you're wearing a City High shirt. Repping the alma mater.
Yeah, today was
both of our alma maters, by the way.
My day job. It's homecoming week, so they let us wear like Hawkeye shirts, and sometimes they'll do themes. I don't know if they really did any themes this year because I didn't really pay attention. But today was rep your alumni. You know, like where you went to either high school or college. You can wear those shirts. So I dug this out, and I'm like, I don't remember buying this shirt.
I like it. It's a good shirt.
I was looking for the shirt I remember buying from Hy-Vee, which was like a City High Little Hawk shirt, black, short sleeves. And I saw this long sleeve black shirt, and something told me to go look at the front. And I'm like, it's City High. I can wear this today. And I like unroll it, and there's not any massive stains or bleach marks. And I'm like, where'd I get this shirt? I thought maybe one of the kids' friends left it behind or something, but Katie doesn't remember it. My oldest daughter, she doesn't remember it. She's like, I might have bought it because she ran cross country with City High because she was from West Branch, so they.
Oh, is there no cross country at West Branch?
Yeah, so they would let the kids from West Branch go to the City High, and she went to. And I got like one cross country City High shirt. I don't remember buying. I just don't remember buying this shirt.
I don't have a lot of City High merch. I mean, I did when I went there, but like none of that's gonna fit me now.
Well, I know, and I'm not the type of person that saves stuff. Like when I grow out of it, it's gone.
No, my mom actually is that kind of person. So I remember in high school, I wore a shirt, like a pretty vintage shirt, from when she was there in the 70s, and so I wore some City High merch that she wore when she was there too. And I don't know what happened to it. Like I had a Beat West shirt in like, you know, that 70s lettering.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember that shirt actually.
Right. Yeah. And so I think she still has it somewhere, but like when I was done with it, when I couldn't fit into it anymore, I'm like, here, you can have it back. But yeah, she still has a lot of stuff like that.
The closest to vintage is I wore, and again, it was just a shirt I found in my closet that I hadn't thrown away in the last purge. And it was long, it was like 3/4 sleeve, and we could wear Hawkeye shirts all week. So I grabbed that, I put it on, and my coworker's like, hey, that's a pretty good shirt. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I looked down, it's Outback Bowl.
Ooh.
He's like, that was a couple years ago. How do you have that? I'm like, I don't know. I think I bought it because I needed a long sleeve shirt for. And I looked down. It's like 2017. I'm like, yeah, it was the first year I worked here. That's why I have it, because I didn't have any other Hawkeye shirts, so I had to buy Hawkeye shirts to wear to work.
I think I still have my Rose Bowl shirt from a few years ago. You know,
I didn't even know. I'm like, did we win that game? And he's like, yeah, we won it. I'm like, okay, well,
the Outback one, yes.
Yep, that's why I bought it.
Yep. Team
Not really.
pride.
Yeah. You tell me I can wear t-shirts to work, and I'm going to buy a t-shirt so I can wear it to work.
But like I didn't do it last year because I didn't know it was happening, or this year because I didn't know it was happening. But in years past, For a couple of years in a row, I carried the City High banner at graduation for a class of 2011, my class. And every year, I'm always like, oh, I should find a City High shirt to wear. And so I have to, like, rummage through my drawers and, like, find something from whenever I bought it.
I think my graduation year is always the year that they're begging people to do. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Why? It's fun. You should do it with me.
If you do it and they need somebody, I will go with you.
Okay.
I didn't know anyone else that was going to do it.
Well, yeah, it's better if you know someone like that you're doing it with. My mom always does 76. Her graduation year. So I always go with her. So I always know her, and I'm always hanging out with, you know, the people around her because they're a lot friendlier than the people around me. Apparently, the class of 2012 is always not very friendly. 2010 is usually chiller for some reason, but a few years ago, Amy did 2014, and we found this video on YouTube. It was a video yearbook from the class of 85, and we found the guy who was 85, and I'm like, do you remember this? Do you remember this video yearbook? And he's like, oh yeah, I do remember that. That was cool. And so we, like, struck up a conversation about that. And so, like, there are friendly people you can, like, do conversations with.
I don't do that.
I do. I'm a friendly
I'm not going to go
person.
up to people I don't know and talk to them.
Oh, I do.
Maybe can't.
Maybe that's why the classes around me don't like me. They don't want to do that. And so they're like,
that girl, she talks to everybody.
Which is not what I did in high school. In high school, I was very shy.
I admire that. I mean, I really wish I could be that way, but I'm not. I have to, I mean, I'm not that outgoing.
And then one time, I don't remember what his graduation year was, but my uncle, my dad's oldest brother, did it for a friend one year. And so we all four were there, like him, my mom, me, and Amy. And so,
but you got to sit through the whole graduation then?
No. There's a meeting room that we meet in. It's like an hour after the commencement actually starts, and we line up, and then we cross the stage, and then.
But you still got to find parking with all.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun being there, and like I got to see some of my old teachers. And
when you think about the logistics to it, it's less fun.
It's not that big of a deal.
And you got to get dressed. You got to wear a bra.
Yeah,
I mean, brush your hair.
No, you don't. I don't brush my hair.
Okay,
hardly ever. If I do, it gets all poofy, and so if I leave it as is, like I get like a nice wave to it, like it is right now. But yeah, I was not contacted this year, so
maybe they're not doing.
No, they do. I saw the photo on the City High Alumni Facebook page. Are you on it? Are you on the City High Alumni Facebook page?
Probably, but I probably don't follow it. I mean, I probably am, but I'm not.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
So I see posts about it all the time. I actually just saw a post where the class of 2016 was organizing their 5-year reunion. I'm like, you guys are on top of it. Like, 2011 didn't do damn thing.
Why are people
5 years?
I guess that's what I'm like.
Or 10 years. No,
with social media, though, like, do people still get into the reunions? I mean,
it's probably not like a huge deal like it used to be, but like I think for them they were organizing just like a hangout at Big Grove. But yeah, my class 2011 should have had their 10 years this year, and like I heard nothing about anything.
I mean, our 10 year was not. I don't think there was something, but it was kind of a last second. And then I am now friends with the person who is sort of put herself in charge of doing it. And she's the only reason why we had such great ones over the last couple of decades. But I didn't even go to the last one.
Right. And I think I've said this before, but because it's supposed to be the class presidents who organize it, right?
And our president that got elected, his thing was like, if you elect me, we don't have to have reunions.
Oh wait, I love that. That's so funny. No, but my elected president is I know for 5 years, probably she was busy with like med school or some other kind of grad school, and maybe she's just kind of over it. She doesn't care about organizing school reunions, which is fine. But also, you're right. Like because we have social media, we can see whoever we can keep up with, whoever we want to keep up with, who is on social media. And I think the same people who are on social media and like proactive in keeping up with people are the same people who would show up for reunions.
Go to them, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to get like maybe someone you haven't thought of in years. They're probably less likely to go. So, yeah. But I don't know. I would probably go to one in about another 10 years. I think I wouldn't have gone this year, even if there had been one.
I don't think there's enough that happens in 10 years after you graduate.
No, 10 years is nothing. In 5 years, I was really surprised 2016 was doing anything, because I'm like, y'all haven't had time to do anything.
No,
like all you did was go to college. Yeah, I would do something probably in another 10 years if anything is being organized. I am not going to take it upon myself to organize anything unless like my own high school friends want a mini reunion, which happens occasionally, but that's on a much smaller scale.
And that's the thing with social media. It's like you can just kind of get together and go, hey, I'm coming into town this week.
Right. Exactly. Maybe high school reunions are a thing of the past.
Let's hope.
They're going to phase out. Wow. It's almost like you didn't like high school, Cindy.
I mean, I didn't dislike it. But it wasn't like the movies, that's for darn sure.
You're class of 89, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was nothing like 16 Candles.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of that. It was nothing like The Breakfast Club.
What about Heathers? Anything like Heathers?
A little bit like Heathers. I love my dead gay son. That's like my favorite. I'm trying to think of some other high school movies.
Mean Girls.
Gossip Girl.
Oh,
that's a TV show, though.
Yes, that's a TV show.
It was just like Gossip Girl.
Interesting. City High just went downhill then from 1989 to 2007 when I was there.
We were like 90210 back in the day.
You're swanky and like...
We were all really like 27. Wasn't Luke Perry like in his mid-20s when he was playing like a 15-year-old?
Oh, I have no idea.
He was super old. Actually, Andrea, that actor, was really old when she was playing Andrea.
I didn't watch Gossip Girl.
No, I'm talking about 90210.
Oh, I didn't watch 90210.
I didn't watch it until like it was in like syndication or whatever. Because it was on like WB or something, and I didn't get
the
that
CW.
on my cable. Yeah, I didn't get that channel.
Right. Yeah, because it was nothing like that when I got there.
No, although, you know, some of the, like, one of the nice things about the reunion weekend is that we could go take a little tour of the school.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this previously. They had like a little coffee area, like a little, like where you can get coffee and donuts and stuff.
Where was that?
I mean, that's what they said, that somebody would open up like a little kiosk thing in this little area that was like not there when I was there.
Like just for the reunion, or like for everyone?
No, for the school.
What?
Like in my day, some guy or girl would buy like a couple dozen donuts from like Casey's or someplace and sell them as like the morning like breakfast thing. You can get them for like $1. But
right.
Then they were selling like nice stuff. Like, I don't know if they had a coffee machine.
I did.
And the whole area was like very hip and very
we did not have anything like that.
Like we had one little lounge area that was literally just steps that they threw carpet on.
I mean,
that they had made.
I mean, our lounge area was probably the commons, and
like,
that
we
was
had
like
this
a bunch of tables with TVs.
Yeah, and then there was this one little area that was like this like corner room that used to be, I think, a supply closet or something. It was like this really like extra space that was the lounge area for like juniors and seniors, if you had like an open period.
Oh.
But it was nothing like whatever I saw. Like they had tables and it looked very trendy and very hip.
No, we did not have any coffee bar like that.
I mean, I don't think it was a full-on coffee bar, but it was like some sort of like little snack thing that you could get.
Ooh. I'm jealous of you, City High people.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't me. It was long after me.
Oh, long after me, too.
Yeah.
I graduated a decade ago. Over a decade ago.
What is my A9? 99, 2009. 30 plus years. Yikes.
Yeah.
Although I was wearing, the City High shirt, and a customer was like, "Oh, you're wearing my alma mater." Like, yeah, me too. He's like, "Oh, it's probably, it was a long time ago." I'm like, "Yeah, me too." He's like, "Oh, 73," and I'm like, "Oh, that was longer than me."
He probably had some overlap with my mom then.
I'm like, I was born in 71, so that was a little bit before my time.
I
didn't say that to him because I hate it when people tell me that. Like,
well,
I was born in 89. I'm like, that's when I graduated from high school.
Well, I was born in 93, Cindy.
I know. No, the worst was I was chatting with a guy, and we're friends on Facebook, and we were chatting, and he was sort of like kind of angling towards maybe dating.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was too young, but then he told me what his birth year was.
What was it?
89. I'm like, dude, seriously, you were born the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, that's not, no.
He's like, he's still 30. So it's not like he's a baby.
Okay, but...
Or at the time he was 30 or whatever. Right. This is a couple years ago. But I'm like, I briefly considered. But then I thought, no, I can't. I could never get over the fact that he was born the year I graduated from high school.
Graduated high school, yeah.
And I graduated young, so technically he was only 17 years younger than me, but still.
Yeah, no, but 30, like that's the age appropriate for like me to date too. So I feel like our dating pool probably shouldn't overlap a lot.
I don't like younger men. I'll just say that. You'd have to be super mature.
I like dating my own age. I don't like excessively younger or older. And especially not younger, just because I'm not very old myself.
Right.
But I like dating my own age.
Yeah, I think my dating range is like 45 to grave.
For me, I think the youngest I would go now is probably 23, but that's like the absolute youngest. And then the oldest probably 33. Like a nice 10-year range, I think.
Yeah.
But like, that's kind of pushing it.
Hypothetical.
Oh, hypothetical. Hypothetical, for sure. Because I don't date.
Same.
Yeah, so if you have... Okay, so if you know about the swanky coffee area in City High, please call us. 319-358-1630. I would like to know more about that. Either if you are a recent City High grad or like know a recent.
And this would have been in the last 10 years too.
Maybe
I misheard him, but it seemed like they had some sort of like little cafe area. You know what I'm talking about? Like they had a nice little.
Right when I left, that I would have been so mad, like because a few years after I left, they got this beautiful new music wing, and like when I was there, we had like this huge choir all stuffed into this trophy room, which was the choir room when my mom was there in the 70s. And like as soon as I left, they started like breaking ground on like a new addition. And so my sister got to enjoy it for a year. She was in band, but like I got to sing in it once when Dr. Grove, my choir teacher, was retiring in 2013 the first time. It didn't stick, but when he retired the first time in 2013, we did like an alumni concert for him, and we got to practice in the new choir room, and it was beautiful, and the acoustics were beautiful, and we sounded fantastic. And I'm just like, why couldn't I have had this?
Well, we had the band room, but it was like it was like on the edge of the building. Like you had to like go down all the the long dark hallways basically to get back to it.
Was the band room the same was your band room my band room?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I know what you're talking about.
I just remember during the tour, it was like I got lost towards the end because I couldn't figure out what was original and where I was at. And I've mentioned this before. I'm geographically challenged.
Right.
So I get a little bit turned around, but I was having a really hard time trying to remember. But then I realized I think some of this is an addition because they've added on to the building, haven't they? Quite a bit in the last 20 years.
Well, in the last 20 for sure. Right before I got there, because I got there in the fall of 2007, I think I got to enjoy a brand new English wing on the second floor. I don't remember what floor it was, either the third or the second, and it was like brand new, state of the art. It was really, really cool. And then they broke ground on the new music wing right when I left. And then now that they have the wing I was talking about, they add another floor to that wing, and then they have a new gym area now. So they have at least 4 new additions.
Oh, we were talking about this because we never did get resolution on what they call the new gym.
Oh, I have no idea.
Because it used to be the new gym and the old gym, and now they have another new gym.
Maybe it's the new gym, the gym, and the old gym. I don't know. If you have any answers to our questions, please call us. I think we did that
last time, too, and that was like a year ago.
319-358-1630. We have to know. Surely there is someone who is affiliated with City High who can answer our questions.
Because I remember going, again, to the tour, and the kid that was giving us the tour referred to as the old gym and the new gym. I'm like, the new gym has got to be at least 30 years old at this point.
Right.
It's not new anymore, but it's the newer gym.
Yeah.
The old gym, why would they keep 3 gyms?
That's a great question, and I remember talking about this on Facebook when the new wing was, like, proposed initially. I'm like, listen, why do we need another gym? And, like, why can't we get another wing for, like, art? Because I think they're still in the basement for the most part.
Well, add on the new gym, but, like, take the old gym and do something different with it. Like, why?
Oh, right. Like, convert it into new classrooms or something. I don't know. I kind of liked having the old gym there because it was, like, retro and, like, just... It was cool being in a building that was pretty old. At least to me. I know that's just kind of maybe sentimental and not really practical, but I liked being in the old gym because it's from, like, what, the 40s? The 30s?
Well, I have bad experiences with all of them, but...
Oh, do you? Even the new one?
I mean, I don't like gym class.
I didn't either. One time, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but... Oh, wait, before I tell that story, let's see if this caller has an answer. Hello, you're on the air.
They call the new gym James the Third because he's kind of pretentious.
I don't have the bell, but I would ding it if I had it.
If you could hear my eyes, they were rolling.
Yeah, they were rolling. I liked it, though. Thank you very much for calling. Anyway, so the story I was about to tell. When I was a sophomore, I did early bird PE because I had to fit in some other class that I needed. I don't know. But, so I did early bird PE, and I wasn't used to being up that early. And so we had warm-ups, and then I felt my vision going. Mm-hmm. I felt myself, like, blacking out. And I'm like, this is not normal. I am losing my vision. I should probably go tell Mr. Sabers that I'm losing my vision. And so I got up from my place and started walking in the direction I knew he was, and I eventually found him and tried to position myself where his face was. So he was where you are, and I was like over here talking to him, be like, I can't see. And he's like, okay, well, that's not good. And so he made me go sit down outside and drink some water, and had my friend come out with me. But I, like, blacked out in early bird PE.
Yikes.
So yeah, I don't like I don't like PE either. Before and after that, but like, it's a bad experience I had in gym class. Although, I will say, because I blacked out, I did not have to participate that day.
I mean, I wish I would have known that.
But
I would have blacked
don't
out.
lie about that. That was weird. That has never happened to me before or since. And he's like, "Did you not eat breakfast this morning?" I'm like, "I did. I had like 2 Pop-Tarts, but it wasn't enough apparently."
Yeah, and the only time I could have gotten out of gym is I had mono, and like 2 weeks after mono, you're not supposed to do stuff. I guess you get out of gym class, even though you're not contagious, but there's something to do with your spleen or something is swollen or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm like, oh yeah, I got over mono. I don't have to do gym class for 2 weeks. Guess what we had?
What?
CPR. So I still had to do it.
Oh my God.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it couldn't be biking class or whatever horrible classes that I always hated.
Volleyball or dodgeball.
Hockey. Or no, not hockey, but we did field hockey one year. Running as a class, just run.
I was really lucky that I got to choose what kind of PE I wanted to do. Like, there's the traditional PE, and I did have to take traditional PE for that one trimester that I had to do early bird PE. So that was the only time I actually did like traditional PE in high school. So the rest of the time you got to choose the elective. So you could either do like cross training, regular PE, or lifestyle fitness, which is like yoga and walking and Pilates. And so I did that every year, every trimester except one.
That is an excellent idea. I don't know why they didn't do that when we were going to school.
It was amazing. Like, we did yoga, we did Taibo once, we did, well, more than once, but, you know, like a unit. And,
yeah, but that's more.
We did cardio for 20 minutes.
Way more practical and way more long term. Like, if I did that in high school, I would be able to, like, manage what I would, you know what I mean? Like, your hobbies outside of, like, I'm never going to play field hockey ever again. Soccer, probably not.
Right. No, I agree. I think the lifestyle fitness was really good for setting up habits. I will say, in my case, it didn't stick.
I know, but like, even like doing yoga, meditation, and stuff like that stuff teaches you life skills,
mindfulness,
yes,
and like, and also just like things that are easily replicable in your real life.
Exactly.
Yeah. And because, like, you can't get 20 of your closest friends to play dodgeball all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I mean, I understand that gym class is supposed to keep you physically active and get you to experience square dancing and whatever else
I can't believe we did that. We did that in junior high, not high school, but, like...
We did it in high school, too. Because that's the way I mean, I'm so glad that they changed that. That is that's awesome. Because... it wasn't working the way they were doing it back in the 80s, I don't think.
I wasn't there, so I can't comment.
I mean, like I said, they would, you know, we'd have to you signed up for the gym class, and then whatever gym teacher, they would decide to do the different programs. So, like, every couple of weeks, you would change.
Oh, interesting.
And you would do soccer, and every more, you know, like at the beginning, you had to do, like, I don't know, 5 minutes worth of exercises. So, like, 10 jumping jacks and 10 burpees.
That's
and 10, you know.
That's how I blacked out.
All in a line.
I was doing jumping jacks.
Yeah. And I get it. It's like the warm up.
Right.
But maybe stretches would have been a little bit more effective.
I guess it's kind of stretching.
I don't know.
Doing jumping jacks and stuff like that. But yeah,
But like stuff like yoga and stuff, that's something that you can carry on throughout the rest of your life.
Yeah, I really liked the lifestyle fitness. I mean, I didn't love, like, being active, you know. I just liked being sedentary.
Tennis, which you do tennis, but, like, I'm never going to play tennis again.
Tennis is fun. I don't like playing actual games. I like just volleying the ball back and forth and having fun. I don't find structured games fun because I'm not good at them, and I don't like to embarrass myself. So that's another reason why I'm glad I didn't do traditional PE a lot, because... that's a lot of
I'm just glad they
organized
offer
sports.
something different than, and like back in my day, I don't think they allowed you to sign out of PE if you were in a sport.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would have played sports.
Oh, I would not have. Oh.
Like when my kids were going to school, if they were in the sports, they didn't have to do gym class.
Oh.
Which makes sense to me.
Yeah,
because that's the whole point of gym class is to make you be active.
And if you're already active in a sport. No, I still had to do PE when I did swimming in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But that's junior high.
Well, this was high school, so I don't know. Yeah. Do they still do the physical fitness, like the
pacer?
Like every year we'd have to do these tests where we'd have to hang in a bar, or we'd have to do pull-ups or climb a stupid rope.
You know, the last time I did that was in elementary school, so maybe they
what
stopped.
were those called again? The something physical fitness
I don't
tests.
know. But I didn't have to do that past 6th grade, and that was in 2000.
So I wonder if they stopped doing that.
So yeah, they probably started doing that in the mid 2000s when I stopped doing it in elementary
You had to run
school.
a mile, and they had to like time you.
Yeah, okay, but they did. What we did have to do all through school, elementary school, junior high, and high school was the Fitness Gram Pacer test. Do you remember that? Did you have to do that? It was the devil. It was the absolute devil. So what would happen is you would start on one side of the gym. Everyone would just like line up next to each other. And when the beep goes, like beep, you have to run to the other side of the gym, like where a line is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when another beep goes, beep, you run to the other side. Beep, beep. And it goes like closer and closer together until like you're just running nonstop. And like if you miss the beep and you're not over the line, you have to like sit out. It's the devil.
I know, but I would be like, oh, missed it.
No, and if you get out early, you're considered unfit, unhealthy, and the only people who like did it till the absolute end are the people in sports who are
Mm-hmm.
used to like moving all the time. And so I would always be like really crappy at it and miss the ding. And so you would feel bad about yourself because you're like, oh, why can't I do this? But it's the devil.
See, and you need to watch Squid Games because I'm thinking that would be a perfect Squid Game.
Actually, that would be a good Squid Game. But instead of like, if you don't.
Wait, did you watch? How much far did you get into it?
20 minutes. I didn't.
Okay,
get
never
to the
mind.
game.
You're not even into the game.
Nope,
yet.
I didn't get to the
Okay.
game. No, but like in Squid Game, if you weren't across the line when the beep beeps, you would probably die.
You spoiled, not me. But we did have a discussion with the coworkers that have watched it of the games that they didn't put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Red Rover.
Oh.
Worst game ever.
Yeah. It's
As a child that
unimaginative.
had very skinny arms and was very not fit.
Yeah.
They always came through my link.
We
I almost broke my arm one time.
You know what? We never played that game much just because it was kind of boring.
We always ended up playing it. I don't think we might have played it in gym, like in grade school. But I remember going to like the local parks. I don't know if they still do this. They would have like little like activity groups and stuff that my parents would sign us up for, you know,
Mhm.
like to keep you busy during the summer.
Right.
And so I just remember doing that during those little day camp type things. And they
Mhm.
would, let's play Red Rover. Worst game ever. Dodgeball is another one that they should have played.
Yeah. I actually kind of liked dodgeball just because, like, I was really good at dodging the ball. I was not good at hitting people.
Mhm.
But I could dodge the ball, and so I was always, like, the last person out. But, I never hit the baseboard or, like, the backboard of the basketball hoop either. Because did you have that rule where if you hit the ball on the backboard of the basketball hoop, you would like let everyone back in?
See, the only time I really remember playing dodgeball was in grade school at Grant Wood, and we would play against the back. We'd be outside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So there's no thing to hit.
Oh, okay. So no, but maybe that's just something we did.
But I don't remember the rule either. Where isn't there a rule like if you catch the ball,
then the other person who threw it is out.
Okay.
If it hits you, you're out. But if you catch it, they're out.
Yeah.
I never caught the ball either.
I never was in the game long enough to really understand what the rules are. So.
Yeah, I was not good at any of the games.
Did you ever play, and I don't remember the rules, I just remember there's more bases. California kickball. Do you remember that?
No.
I feel like there was more bases involved. And that was really the only difference.
Rather
and I don't know why
than
they called
three?
it California kickball, but and maybe that was just a game that my gym teacher, Mr. Randall, in grade school made up. I don't know.
Maybe in California they call it Iowa kickball.
Possibly. I'm kind of curious if that's just something, you know, when you grow up with something and you're like, oh yeah, that's what everybody does.
Right,
And then you
and then
realize
it's
that,
not,
hey,
yeah.
nobody does it that way.
Are you looking up California?
I'm looking up California. Any Grantwood alumni? California.
I did not go to Grantwood, but I did go to the Grantwood summer program, like the summer between second grade and third grade, because the Mark Twain one was like full. So I am familiar with what at least the gym looks like at Grantwood.
Okay, so it is an actual game.
Oh, cool.
It's a game played with 6 bases. A player kicks the ball into the field. They have to tag all 6 bases to score. Outs occur if a kicked ball is caught in the air. Well, that's like normal.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like kickball with 6 bases.
So where were the other 3? Were they in between the existing 3, or were they out in the field? Where were the other bases?
I don't remember because I never got past. There's a picture, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
I just think it's extra around the circle of whatever the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
What's it? Like a 6-sided. It's not a diamond.
6-sided?
Like what would 6 bases make? How many sides?
A hexagon.
Oh, so here's another one.
It's a hexagon.
California kickball, you need 4 bases.
What?
They're just playing regular kickball and they don't even realize it.
Well, regular kickball is, I guess you're right, that is 4 bases. I mean, I guess if you count home base as a base, I never did. First, second, third, and then home is like its own thing, but I guess that's just me and how I visualize the...
But there's only one real thing about California kickball. The other California kickball is basically regular kickball.
So it's just whatever state you're in, kickball.
Well, it can't be your own state because then it wouldn't be like...
Oh, that's right.
Different.
Although, but you're saying it's regular kickball.
Well, according to this one website, which is wrong. They're wrong. Because California kickball had more bases. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, we never played that.
This says, what do you get when you cross soccer with baseball? California kickball, of course.
Okay. Oh, I don't think I ever played like a formal game of soccer either. In 5th and 6th grade, the kids would play it, and like sometimes I would stand in the middle of the field and pretend to play, but I never knew the rules. Nobody ever kicked it to me because I didn't know the rules.
I did every sport like once. Like I was in the Iowa City Kickers or whatever. Yeah, which was kind of fun, but I'm not very good.
The field is just right over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good program. I think kids that are involved in it are a lot of fun. I just remember the shirt was 2-sided.
Oh.
So you had a red side and a white side, and then we never knew exactly what side to wear. Because I don't know if we just didn't have the list or what, because I remember several times my mom having to like guard me so that I could
right.
Not that I had anything to see, but
right.
Just so we could switch out, which I think is pretty clever, actually.
Yes, I do too.
Because you can't do shirts and skins with a bunch of kids.
I guess you could, but...
I mean, that's how you get on a list. No. But it was fun.
I was never into sports. I was more into music.
I liked the one thing I liked about soccer is you always get a snack afterwards. Like somebody would bring oranges or whatever.
Oh. Well, I'm always here for snacks.
I know. I wish we could do sports.
If somebody had told me about the snacks, maybe I would have been in soccer.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe that's what we should do. Adult soccer league, where all we do is just eat orange slices.
Snack league?
Yeah.
Adult snack league? I love that.
We could wear uniforms.
And we
all wear the same thing.
We just gather and eat snacks.
Wear socks with stripes on it.
Yes.
Tennis shoes with spikes.
Well, we can meet at Terry Trueblood.
Yeah. Yes.
Snack league. Let's do it.
Well, when they're not doing soccer, we'll do on the soccer field. So we're really professional. We'll get somebody to write, instead of like the lines of the field, it'll be just like a big, like, hostess ho-ho.
Oh, yes.
Like design on there.
Although, can we, instead of hostess snacks, which are not very good in my opinion, could we do something cool like Oreos?
I don't like Oreos.
What?
I know. I don't really like Oreos.
I love Oreos, like the double stuffed Oreos, and you dip it in milk.
Yes. That's another thing I won't dip. Like, that makes things soggy.
But that's the
Why
point.
would you want a soggy cookie?
That's the point. It, like, melts in your mouth.
Yeah, but your mouth melts it.
But it doesn't have to work as hard.
I don't want my I don't want my cookies pre-moistened.
I do.
I like to do that myself. Thank you very much. Because you miss that whole, like, crisp, like, cleanness.
Oh, but I love that.
And then what do you do with the milk afterwards? It's all gross.
You drink it.
Oh, gross.
I guess, okay, but I will say I don't like mushy cereal, but that's different, I think, to me.
So you drink all the crumbs.
Yeah. It's delicious.
I know. People do that, and it's gross. I don't like soggy bread, and I don't like soggy cookies.
I like, okay, so I will also do this to my Belvita, like in the morning. I will stick the biscuit into my tea, and it will make it all
fancy.
soft.
You're
Yeah.
English now. That my bad English accent.
I thought that was German.
I thought it was a little Irish, maybe, at the end.
I thought that was German. Whatever. A fancy accent, yes. It is pretty fancy.
Put your finger in the air, and you eat your soggy biscuits.
I have my pinky out, drink my water. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I guess I like dunking the Oreos and Belvita into things, but I don't like mushy cereal. I will eat the cereal like way too fast, so it doesn't get mushy.
So okay, I think I saw this on TikTok. It was a TikTok where the lady's like, "These are the things that my husband spends his adult money on," and one of the things she's like, "I actually like this idea." It was a bowl that had two sections.
Mm-hmm.
One was for milk and one was for cereal. And then you would put your cereal into like it would, somehow you could like move your cereal over to the milk. And I think it had a straw on it too, so you could drink the milk afterwards, I think. I can't remember. But she's like, I made fun of him when he got it, but it's like the smartest thing he ever bought.
Yeah, so you have cereal and milk like gradually, and you don't have to worry about it getting so soggy.
You don't have to eat it really super quick like I do.
Ooh, that's probably an investment.
Yeah, but I don't drink. I don't normally drink my milk after.
It depends on the cereal. If it's like a fruity cereal, I will not. If it's a chocolatey cereal, I will.
Yeah, and you're probably the majority as far as cookie milk and all that stuff. But it's ugh.
And it's not with any other cookie. It's just Oreos.
And I don't like Oreos.
I love
both my kids loved it. I don't know how many double stuffed Oreo cookie packages I'd had to get.
Double stuffed Oreos. As far as I'm concerned, that's Oreos. Like the thin ones, not Oreos. Or stingy Oreos.
Now I think about it, I wonder if my kids always liked those cookies because it's the one thing I wouldn't eat. Like I won't.
Oh, maybe.
I won't go crazy. Like some, when there's a snack lying around and they don't eat it right away, I'm going to eat it. Well, I won't really eat
Well, that's me with my sister. If she brings home a tasty snack, I'm like, hey, if this isn't gone in 2 days, it's mine.
Yeah, you have a time limit on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for her, it's okay, because if she doesn't immediately consume it, this is an ADHD thing, by the way, it will blend into your everyday surroundings and become invisible.
And you forget about it.
So here comes me. I'm going to eat it.
It's like she didn't even notice.
And that happens with me too. So I'm not throwing only her under the bus. I do this too. But like mine, I think I'm a little less bad about it than she is. But
well, I've gotten to the point where I try to on Sunday nights, because that's when I take my garbage out, go through my fridge.
Oh,
so that anything that gets forgotten.
That's a good idea. I should start doing that. I really should start doing that.
And if I haven't touched it for a week, then it needs to go. Even if it's still good, I still need to either eat it that day.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I don't do it every single Sunday, but I've been pretty good at it since I moved here, because that's kind of like the garbage has to be out by Monday morning. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. That's my garbage day too. Garbage twins.
Mm-hmm. Mine's not by the city though. It's by the.
How does it work?
I don't know. Some like the park has their own people that come pick it up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because whoever owns this park owns, like, I think 2 others. And so they all kind of do it together.
Okay.
Anyway. Mobile home park living. Trailer park girl I am.
All right. So, 5 minutes. How are we gonna fill it?
I felt like there's more to talk about. But
you know
we
what?
talked about Ted Lasso.
You know what? I said this to you off air, but I feel like I should bring it up in the last 5 minutes. So I suggested to Cindy that she shave off like the sides of her head, because like it's shorter than the rest of her hair, but like it could be shorter, it could be buzzed. And so I'm just like, I was joking with some of my friends when I was in Boston. I'm like, yeah, I just want to shave off my head like Halsey. And they were all like, oh my God, do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then we were talking about how, like, I'm kind of looking for an excuse to shave my head. Like, if somebody's doing some, like, charity for cancer or something, like, that way you have an excuse to do it and you're not like Britney Spears in 2007, you know? Because I feel like people would be concerned if I just did that.
But like I said, Brittany had a lot of other things going on that day. She was throwing
that year,
umbrellas.
No, that year.
Like that night, wasn't she like jabbing an umbrella at like the photographers, and then she went in and then she shaved her head?
That was not no. She shaved her head because the photos are her with her shaved head.
There were photos of her. There was video of her doing it in the salon. Mm-hmm. But I think that was before or after she
That was before the umbrella thing, because I've seen the umbrella pictures and it's her with the shaved head.
Like after she shaved it?
Yes.
I know, but like I think it happened on the same night, didn't it?
It might have. I don't know. I just remember.
Either way, she was going through.
She's going through it.
She's still going through it.
Oh, she's still going through it. That poor woman. Just leave her alone. Free Britney.
Get her some therapy and some medication, and I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, but that whole family needs.
I know, but she's like engaged again.
Let her be happy.
I know, but seriously, she just needs to. I don't know. I mean, I don't think she should be babysat like she has been.
No,
I think what she's been going through is ridiculous. That's like she's a grown woman,
and her dad is off the conservatorship now, and I don't know if she's completely free, but like she's on her way.
I do feel like there's a reason why they kept it that long.
I don't think she's that incapable of doing everything. I think her family just likes controlling her because they've always controlled her.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess. But yeah, she doesn't need the conservatorship. Amanda Bynes is also under a very similar conservatorship as well. And so once we free Britney, we have to free Amanda as well.
Okay, well, we'll see how it turns out. As a mother, I wonder if like somebody needs to take care of these women because they've got mental issues.
The only reason they have mental issues is because of the trauma they experienced as children being child stars.
Maybe, yeah.
And so they
could have
been
had
mistreated since then.
They could have had this, whatever the problem was to begin with, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they could have, like, schizophrenia or something like that they have no control over, but, like, because they've been controlled, no one's taking care of those issues. Like, I think at Justin Bieber, he clearly had some drug issues.
Right.
That no one really...
No, because his I don't think his parents are very, like, attentive to
right.
that.
He had a lot of people that were like, hey, you know, I'll just get you more, or we'll just hide it, or whatever. Like, no one did him any favors.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that there's a lot of stuff happening like that in Hollywood and the music industry and stuff. It's like things don't get addressed, just swept under the rug.
Right. I mean, Michael Jackson had the same problem. Mm-hmm. Well, he had a lot of problems, but that was one of them. Anyway. We could have talked about that for 2 hours. Next
time on Molly Suter and the Other Girl, we go through Hollywood.
We will not professionally diagnose every child actor that grew up.
All right. So thank you very much for listening to us today. And just like every other time we do this show will be on YouTube. So you can go back, listen to it, or maybe if you missed the first part of this, you can go back and listen to it. Thank you very much. And I don't know what's happening next week. All right. You might be on next week, unless there's an issue on your end, or some kind of game on our end, or a race or something. I don't know.
You don't have the race.
No, not
schedule.
We don't have the schedule yet. I will let you know. So, thanks very much. Bye. You're listening to the Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
From the Hertine and Stocker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the Mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. The general manager of a new downtown Iowa City cookie restaurant faces charges that he grabbed an employee's penis on 2 separate occasions. In one case, speaking in what police described as a baby voice while doing so. According to a